Your fruit is not for you. I find it interesting that we have all of these reality shows, which I think are just a farce because there's not very much reality in them. And so when I watch these reality shows, I'm very surprised by the ratings that they get and how addictive they are to folks who don't have a life of their own, but would love to live vicariously through others. And so all too often, so we get these shows like America's Next Top Model or the American Idol. So we get all of these reality shows that help us, or The Bachelor or Bachelorette, right? So those are some of the most watched or interesting shows in terms of these reality shows. And so one of the things that I think is interesting is that what gets touted as important, what shows up as important in those shows is the individual being the most valuable thing, that my individual skill and ability, another song, The Voice, that my skill and ability is to accentuate my greatness. I am so great because I have, or I can do, or I've accomplished, ... Well, I'm by no means a botanist or gifted in the sciences of agriculture and whatnot. But I do find it very interesting that there are some lessons that even a layman like myself can learn from nature, from the natural world. And one of the things that I think is interesting that I've learned from the natural world is that apple trees do not brag about how many apples they have. I think it's interesting that orange trees don't boast about the juiciness of their oranges. Animals and even peacocks, they don't necessarily brag about how beautiful or skilled or masterful they are at what they do. But humans do. And so I asked myself, so first of all, why do people do those things? And I think that people typically do those things because there is a hole in their soul. And that hole in their soul is an opportunity for the free market economy to come in and sell people the completeness that they think that they don't have. And so there comes, I don't know if you've ever watched commercials, but very rarely do I feel better about myself having watched commercials. Often they're trying to sell me something that will make me complete, that will make me better. Buy this car, buy this house, participate in these activities. Now, I will say that if you have herpes, those commercials, that almost makes me want to get herpes because they're living life, they're having a great time, all because of the pill that is suppressing their herpes outbreak. Yeah. So the hole in the soul. I just want to know, how much can you buy to fill that hole in your soul? How much can you drink? How many friends can you have? How many vacations can you go on that will actually fill that soul? You see, I think about folks like Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, even more recently, Michael Jackson, Kurt Cobain. These were folks who had everything. Elvis. They had success, they had money, they had cars, they had houses, but they also had a hole in their soul. You see, when I think about those folks who yearn for their opportunity at American idolatry, when I think about those folks who want to be modeled as the next top American, when I think about those folks, I think about those folks who have a hole in their soul. And I think about orange trees. See, I wonder what would happen if orange trees shedded all their oranges and the juice was squeezed from those oranges and fed back to the tree. What would be the tree's destiny? What would happen to that tree? It is very clear to me that that tree would not last very long if its only nutrient was its own juice. You see, orange juice is not made for trees. It's not made for orange trees. Orange juice, oranges, the fruit of that tree is designed to benefit others. And here's the ironic thing about it. When those orange seeds from the fruit go through nature's system, it actually expands the nature of that one single tree. That every seed, every piece of fruit is a multiplier of that tree. And when it goes through its natural system, that one tree can become a forest, can become thousands of trees, just because it's giving to others. All too often, we spend too much time trying to collect our oranges when we should be giving them out. Our gifts, our talents are not for us. They are for other people. And when we give that stuff away, it comes right back to us because somebody else is giving theirs away, which means that if everybody is in the service of others, no one is in lack. This is Koen, and that's today's principle.